Hello, and thanks for clicking on the CE Productions client area video. I'm George Confoy. I own the company. I'll most likely be your DJ and MC for your wedding. I say most likely because the company's growing, and not only do I book myself out, but I book other DJs out. But all in the same, I still handle every aspect of every single wedding, with the exception of some of the ones where my other guys are contracted for MC and DJ service. So you'll still be using the same site. You'll still be using the same client area. So what I want to show you is how to gain access to the client area. Now, you're going to receive an email from me, and the email is going to look like this. This email is going to just kind of welcome you, and then it's going to share with you the link to the CEDJ's client area, and it's also going to provide you with login information, of course, your event date, which is right here, and then your password, which is usually one of your last names, or in other cases, if it's a Sweet 16, a bar and bat mitzvah, it'll be the guest of honor's last name. So let's scratch this, go back to the website. And off the website, you can gain access to the client login or client area as well. And you're going to see here off the main page, it's flashing right now, client login. Click on that. And in my case, I'm going to go right to the demo page that I created, which is January 1st, 2019. And it's my last name, Confoy, real easy to do. Click in login. And you're going to see that the landing page has links to the planning form, event timeline, music request, make a payment, satisfaction survey, and message form, etc., etc. Essentially, these are the forms that I'll need, minus the satisfaction survey. That comes after the event, of course. But these forms here are the forms that I'll need completed so that we can execute a flawless event for you. Let's begin with the planning form. Also, keep in mind that these forms are available 24/7. There's no time restrictions. You can log in whenever you want, as often as you'd like. Always remember to hit save, and you're going to notice there's a save button up top. There's also a save button down below. So here's the planning form, general information up top, and it is what it is, essentially bride's name, groom's name, email, phone numbers, and all the other basic stuff, room name, photographer, etc. If you're using us for the ceremony, this would be the next section that you would complete. If not, don't worry about it. Just move on to the cocktail music, dinner music, and in this particular case, this is kind of a generalization of the type of music you'd like. So for cocktail music, if we're doing it, select yes, and then put like crooner style or adult contemporary, maybe it's jazz, whatever it is. And then I'll show you when I move you over to the music database how to specifically identify the tracks or the artists that you want played during those time frames. Okay, so moving on, you'll see that there's a spot for toast, cake cutting, cake song, etc., etc. Essentially, all of the pertinent information that I'm going to need to execute a flawless wedding reception for you will need to be communicated via this form. Now, if there is some information you'd like to communicate and you feel like there's not a spot for it, please use the other information box and communicate whatever it is that you need to communicate to me. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty self-explanatory. It is in detail. The best part of it is it's online. We don't have to worry like we did years past with receiving planning forms back with chicken scratch all over the place. Now when things change, it's real easy to log in, make the change, save it, and we're good to go. Now I will share with you that you don't have to submit this form every time you make updates. Just hit save. And when you hit save, it actually sends me an email showing that you've made an update and that you're making progress. So you don't have to submit this form. Okay, as a matter of fact, I just wish that button wasn't there. So just hit save and we should be good. If you have any questions or concerns on the planning form, please drop me an email, shoot me a text, or give me a call, and I will go into greater detail with you. For now, I'm going to click on the client area. This box will appear. This is just a reminder for you to hit save. Just hit OK. And now I'm going to walk you through the event timeline. So I'm going to click on that really quick. And this is what it is. It's, again, very simple. Let's say your start time is at 5 o'clock, and that is for the cocktail hour. Okay, we'll hit the plus button. So 5 o'clock is for cocktail. And now let's say the next evolution is for bridal party introductions. And hit the plus. So now we got 5 for cocktail, 6 for bridal party introductions. And let's say 6:15 would be for your first dance. And you can just put in the notes section. Obviously, we know it's bride and groom. But because it says first dances, you might want to just title it. So in the notes section, I'll put bridegroom and hit OK. And then let's say at 6:20, that should be toast. And let's say best man toast, hit plus, and you'll see that it just keeps adding it. There's no need for me to go through an entire timeline with you. I'm sure you get the gist of this now. And this is kind of tentative. This is going to provide at least some structure for the evening. Obviously, we know that things change spontaneously, so we're not going to panic if you don't panic if we're off by a few minutes here and there. And, I want to encourage you not to panic, for one, because things happen on the day of, and we don't want you to get caught up in the small things. It's the bigger picture that matters. So just know that the timeline is tentative. This is something that we'll use as a guide and adjust as need be. Okay? Any questions on that, please feel free to drop me an email, text, or pick up the phone and call me. Okay, for now, we'll hit save just for argument's sake and click on the client area. I'll hit OK here. In the music request section, this is probably the most important of them all, in my opinion, because obviously this is where the bigger portion of the night exists, in the dancing portion. So the very first thing I like to show people is the most requested. You can see this button over here. This is something you'll be able to click on. And here's the overall top 200 song list. Now, this is the top 200 songs that are played at just about every single event. Now, there's nothing but good news here. And I say that because there's going to be songs on here that you love, songs on here that you don't like. And that's good news for both. The reason being is, I'm going to scroll back up here. Let's say, for argument's sake, Journey. And I'm going to click on Journey. Let's say Journey is a song you love. You're going to see that after clicking on Journey, it brings it over to the search results section. And all the way over to the right, there's a green, yellow, and red button. We're going to click on the green button that says Add to Must Playlist. A box will appear. Just hit OK. And then down below, you'll see Journey, Don't Stop Believing. You can see how it started to build the must play. Okay. And all the way over to the right, you're going to see a notepad and a trash can. And let's say we want to identify or attach a note to this song. When you click on the notepad, a drop-down box will appear. In this case, I'm going to type in dancing, but you can use this notepad to identify songs for cocktail, songs for dinner, first dances, play this for my college friends, or dedicate this to Rosie. Whatever it is that you want to put as a note attached to whatever song, you use this notepad. And that notepad and trash can will be alongside every single song that you add to your must play and do not playlist. Okay, in this case, I'll hit save note. I also want to show you, let's click on most requested one more time. I want to show you that we have other prefab list for you. So right now that's the overall top 200, but if I click in that box, a drop down box will appear with the top songs for the 2010s, 2000s, 90s, all the way down to the 1950s. And let's just pull up the 1950s for argument's sake, just to give you an idea. And this should be the top 100 songs from the 50s. So if you're going to have some older guests at your event and you want to include them in the night, it might be a good idea to look this list over. There's a lot of great songs, on this list. Now, bear in mind, I've got 20 plus years of experience, so I know how to read a crowd, and I know how to kind of dabble in this arena, if you will, with great music that's going to get not only your older folks up there dancing, but a lot of mixed ages up there as well. So in this case, I know that a popular song is Shout, so I'm going to click on that. But let's just say for an example, you don't like that song. So all the way over to the right, you'll see the green, yellow, and red. In this case, you can assume the red button means do not play, and you'd be right. We'll hit OK. And then you can see how it starts to build the do not playlist down below. Isley Brothers Shout. Okay, real simple. So I'll click on most requested one more time. And I wanted to also show you, if you click in that box, that there's also wedding chart recommendations. So if you're stumped on your first dance and need some ideas, click on first dance, and you're going to see a variety of suggestions there. And one of the more popular songs right now is Ed Sheeran, Thinking Out Loud. It's a beautiful song. Let's click back in that box. You'll see father-daughter dance suggestions, and there's a whole list. Of course, I love it first. Now, I want to also share with you that the order of these songs is literally the order of their popularity. So, Heartland obviously is in the number one spot because it is the number one requested song for the father daughter dance. Okay, just to share that with you. If we click back in that box, if you needed help with your ceremony processional, recessional, and ceremony overall, there's some lists there for you as well. And even the bridal party introduction. So we try to streamline the process for you. I want you to feel very comfortable that you hired me for one, and then very comfortable number two with the whole planning process. On the day of your wedding, I don't want you stressing out. I want you to feel excited that you made the right choice, and I want you to feel relaxed. You don't have to worry, you're in great hands, okay? So in this case, we're just going to, I'm going to click on one more song because there's one other thing I want to show you. Let's click on Paul Simon. And let's say, for argument's sake, that there's some songs and artists that you want, but you just don't see them in the system. Don't panic. I want you to click on Custom Song, which is above the green, yellow, and red tab. A drop down box will appear, and you just type your artist in there that you want. In this case, I'm going to type in Aretha Franklin. We have this in the database. This is just an example. And I'm going to hit plus. This box will appear every time you add your first track to a category such as the must play or custom do not play, and just hit OK. It's just reminders to that you can only add 100, if you will. So you'll notice that in the request list section under custom, there's Aretha Franklin Respect. Okay, and that tells me one of two things. One, we had a misspelling in the system, and the name or the artist name and the song just didn't come up. Or two, it's something we need to add. But most importantly, we know it's a song you want, so there's no additional cost to you, and we'll make sure that we bring that song for you. Okay. And that's the music database. I'm going to click on the client. Oh, one other thing before I move on. If you do get stumped, there is a help/tip section, which is there's a button located in the upper right hand corner. So if you click on that, the drop down box will appear, and this goes over just about everything you can think of with regards to the music database. Okay. Now, also keep in mind, if it's easier for you to pick up the phone and call me, go ahead and do that. If you feel like texting is better or emailing, any one of those options work fine for me. Again, I do this 24/7, so I am here for you. So feel free to take advantage of that, okay? So I'm going to click on client area one more time. Hit OK. And so the other links, I mean, make a payment, it's pretty basic. It's just we utilize PayPal as a gateway. So when you click on make a payment, let's say you want to make periodic payments, you can until your balance is paid off. You just use this as your form. I'm going to close that because I don't really want to make a payment. But you could use that. And then if you have any messages, or I know I mentioned email, text, and phone, but if you wanted to use the client area, you can always use the message form. It identifies, essentially who you are, and then whatever your question or concern is, which is pretty good when you actually use the message form. So you don't have to keep filling in your name. It automatically remembers who you are. So I'll hit client area again. And then at the end of your event, we will send out a satisfaction survey or you can log in and you can complete the one that's within the client area. Of course, we love when we get positive feedback. If there is any opportunity, we certainly want to know that as well. Utilizing this form for opportunity is the better option. This way, we can see where we may have fallen short, and we can figure out what it is that we need to do to not do that again with future clients, and then figure out what we need to do to make things right with you. I will tell you that we run a pretty solid ship in the sense of service and quality on the day of. So we're not usually surprised with our performance. It's usually pretty good. Not to toot my own horn, but we try to take the guesswork out of things, and we like to deliver exactly what we promise and what I promise, and we want to make sure that you stay happy. But this form here is a good form to communicate whether it was excellent or if we have any opportunity. Okay, so I'll click on client area. Um, that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of the client area. Um, it should be everything that you need to communicate all of the information necessary. Now, if you've gone with media package, with the media package option, I mean, obviously you're not going to be able to submit pictures and stuff through the client area. That's stuff that we would talk about during the consultation, and we would collect via Dropbox and things of that nature. So for now, that's going to conclude this video. Any questions or concerns, again, please reach out to me via email, text, or phone, and I look forward to working with you. I hope you have a great day. Bye.